Have you ever wondered why the people you dedicate your whole heart to often treat you as an option, not a priority? What if I told you that today you could discover how to reverse that and make people compete for your attention? Your life and happiness are too valuable to waste on people who don't see your worth. In this video, I'll reveal 10 Buddhist-inspired principles that will make you a magnetic presence in anyone's life. You'll become someone people want to have by their side, not just an option, but a priority. Let's dive into how Buddhist wisdom can transform this pattern into one where you command respect and attention, not by force, but by radiating inner strength. Rule number 1. Make people feel like they could lose you forever. Think about a close friendship or relationship where you always show up. You're always there to help, to listen, or to support. But over time, have you noticed how the other person may start to take you for granted? They expect your availability, your kindness, and your energy, without giving much in return. This happens because psychologically, people often value what they might lose more than what they already have. Take the example of someone who is always available for their partner, never setting boundaries, constantly making themselves accessible. At first, the partner may appreciate it, but as time goes on, they become complacent. They stop valuing that presence because it's always there. In Buddhist teachings, impermanence is a fundamental truth. Nothing lasts forever, and the awareness of loss makes us appreciate things more. In real life, when you subtly let people understand that your presence isn't guaranteed, that they could lose your support, your attention, they begin to appreciate it more. Imagine a scenario where you start focusing more on your own life, your own growth, without the need for constant validation. When people see that you are thriving on your own, and that your world doesn't revolve around them, they realize how much they stand to lose. They begin to appreciate your independence, and suddenly, you're no longer the one always seeking their attention. They start seeking yours. Rule number 2. Don't be available for every call. This one is a game changer in both personal and professional relationships. Let's consider an employee who is always available to work late, always saying yes to extra tasks, always willing to jump at every request. Over time, their contributions are no longer seen as exceptional. They're just expected. Now imagine a different employee who sets clear boundaries, who is diligent, but maintains a work-life balance. When they go the extra mile, it's noticed. Why? Because it's not something that happens every day. Their time is seen as valuable. In relationships, the same principle applies. When you're always available, others may start taking that availability for granted. It's important to have your own interests, your own hobbies, and your own time. Think of it like this. If you're constantly waiting for someone to call or message you, they may feel like they can reach out at any time without urgency or effort. But if you have a life filled with your own passions, whether it's meditation, art, or something else, people start to recognize that your time is precious. They will value your attention more when they know it's not easily won. Rule number 3. Be mysterious. Real life example. Have you ever met someone who seems to reveal everything about themselves in the first conversation? There's no mystery, no intrigue. Compare that to someone who shares parts of themselves over time, in a measured way. The latter person draws you in. There's always something more to discover. In Buddhism, patience and the gradual unveiling of deeper truths are essential parts of the journey to enlightenment. The same approach can be applied to how you interact with people. When you don't lay everything out immediately, it leaves room for curiosity, and exploration. Think of a relationship where you take time to reveal your thoughts, dreams, and personality. It's like reading a book. You wouldn't reveal the ending on the first page. Instead, let others learn about you over time, making the process of getting to know you a rewarding experience. For example, if you're in a new relationship, instead of detailing your life story in the first few dates, allow your experiences to unfold naturally. Share your insights and stories as they become relevant, and let the other person enjoy the process of discovering who you are. Rule number 4. Let others invest in you. Imagine a friendship where one person is always doing the giving time, emotional support, and energy. Over time, the giver may start to feel drained, while the receiver doesn't seem to value or reciprocate as much. Why? Because they haven't had to invest in the relationship. The more effort people put into something, the more they value it. Buddhism teaches us that every being has intrinsic value, much like a hidden jewel. But just like a jewel, it often takes time and effort to uncover this value. If someone doesn't invest in you, they may never see how valuable you truly are. So allow people to invest their time, emotions, and energy in building a relationship with you. When they do, they will cherish it more deeply. This principle is seen in everyday life. Think about people who've worked hard to maintain a friendship over years. Through thick and thin, they've invested in each other. That investment creates a bond that casual acquaintances will never have. The same goes for romantic relationships. If one person is always giving and the other only receiving, it creates an imbalance. But when both parties invest in each other, the relationship flourishes. Rule number 5. Prioritize your own needs. Imagine someone who is always putting others first, to the point where they neglect their own well-being. Over time, they become resentful, exhausted, or even ill, because they haven't taken care of themselves. In Buddhism, self-compassion is key. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Think of a caregiver who dedicates all their time to others, but doesn't take the time to nurture their own health and happiness. Eventually, they burn out. However, if they took time for themselves, whether through meditation, exercise, or rest, they would be in a much better position to help others. Prioritizing your needs isn't selfish. It's necessary for your well-being and for maintaining healthy relationships. When you set clear boundaries and ensure that your emotional, physical, and mental health is looked after, you become a stronger, more grounded person. This, in turn, makes you more attractive to others because they see your strength and independence. You are not reliant on them for your happiness. These principles aren't about manipulation or playing games. They're about cultivating a mindset and lifestyle that is rooted in Buddhist teachings of self-awareness, balance, and inner strength. When you embody these values, you naturally attract respect, admiration, and love from those around you. Real-life reflection. Picture this scenario. A friend or partner takes your availability for granted, expecting you to be there no matter what. You've always prioritized them, but now you're feeling drained. Using these Buddhist-inspired principles, you shift your focus inward. You start valuing your own time, allowing yourself to say no when necessary, and prioritizing your needs. Over time, you notice a change. This friend or partner begins to respect your boundaries more, and suddenly, they're the ones seeking your attention. You've become the magnetic force in your relationships, not through manipulation, but through self-awareness and self-respect. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and transformation through Buddhist wisdom. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future teachings. Your support means the world to me, and by subscribing, you'll help us continue to share this powerful knowledge with more people. Let's grow together, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for being part of this community.